Charlie Shaw with the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization. Jenny and I are up here in the Wellsville area. Bigfoot sighting that was on Finding Bigfoot was on this side, and then on the other side of this little mountain here there's several Bigfoot sightings, but we're up here on the brink of spring. It's still winter time, still have a few more weeks of winter. We're up here to look at the snow because it's really hard to hide your footprints in snow. So if a Bigfoot has crossed any of these snow sections, we should be able to find their footprints. And of course we're hoping that we can find some fresh footprints. So we're gonna hike around, look around, find anything of interest. We'll certainly document it with the camera. Bigfoot still hang around in the area in the wintertime. We're going to look around and see if we can find any evidence that fits what you would think a Bigfoot would leave behind. So far we've just found some really large mountain lion tracks. Nose deeper than I thought it would be. I'm filming in the direction the hunter was. He was just sitting there, kind of in a natural made shelter, and that's when a Bigfoot started busting through the undergrowth, and he sat and observed it moving up the mountain through thick undergrowth, and it was moving up this direction where we're at now. When we hear about these Bigfoot sightings in an area and there's just one, of course it's easy to be skeptical. But on the other side of this mountain ridge, two grouse hunters, they had a Bigfoot sighting several years before this guy did. And then the mountain that's behind me on the other side, there's been a couple of Bigfoot sightings. So there's like 4 of them right here. So what's going on? That's why we're here. We want to figure out what is it that these people are seeing up here. We're finding deer tracks up here. So we're finding game in the snow. So if Bigfoot eats the game, eats what the game's eating, or both, there's no reason why they would have to leave this area in the wintertime. Now if we could find Bigfoot tracks, that would just be great.
Here, they're huge impressions. They're big and wide, and they've made ice prints in the snow, and the snow has actually melted around them on top. These big ice.
What's happened is they've pressed down so hard that where they pressed down made ice. That's the hard spot, and the snow's melting around it. And I'm going to show you guys one of these impressions. But there's a trackway of them that we've been following, and I don't know if you guys can make this out. But there's an impression here, and you can see the toes up at the top right there. And that's it going one direction, and look, here is it, or another one, going the opposite direction. Right there, the toes are on the opposite end of that one. And then there's the hill. There's also one there, right here, here. So we've
all the way through here.
We've found a trackway. It's not the fresh stuff that we're looking for, but we're going to take a closer look at these. This trackway going this direction, this is one of the better footprints left in the trackway. I'm going to put my hill by the hill of it, and I've got a 12-inch footprint. And if you look, you know, I wear a size 10.5, but when you measure my shoe's a little over 12 inches long. So this gives a good indication of the size of this track. And my foot's 4 inches wide. That one at the hill, you can tell, is over 5 inches wide, and then it spreads out to about 7 inches up at the toes. And then this one going the other direction, it's really melted out, but it's bigger. But that one right there, you can tell, is getting 16, 17 inches in length. All right, we're gonna look around for more. We're finding Bigfoot style footprints up here. They're just not as fresh as we'd like them to be. You can only take what you can get, you know. Here's a really good one that, you know, the Bigfoot walk in here has smushed it down so hard. I mean, they impacted it and it turned it to ice underneath. I just wanted to point that out to you guys. Same trackway we've been following. You know, people will be like, oh, there's only one. Well, this is like a dozen or more that we have found in this trackway. And I will put my 12-inch shoe next to it, give you guys an idea. There's my footprint next to this giant. And you can tell it is a good 3, maybe 4 inches longer than mine, and almost twice as wide.
Big ice footprint.
Yep, kind of give you guys a look around where we're at. We want to find something fresh, but that's what we're finding.
There's lots of deer and elk prints down in there.
And we've also found some giant mountain lion style. Jenny found 4 more of its tracks in the...
It just keeps walking. There, 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 there.
There's where it stepped. Stepped here. Stepped there. Yeah, here's another one.
They're so old.
It looks like there's 2 trackways to me. It looks like there's one that's 14 and one that's 17 to me.
Some of them go down along there, and some of them keep right along this tree line right here.
Well, great. It's been a while since we've found some footprints. These ones are old ones though. Here's another one. Another place that it stepped. We're going to keep looking for more footprints in the trackway, see if we can find some really good ones for y'all. Jenny and I are following the trackway. Hopefully the camera's picking up the footprints for y'all. But we believe we've identified 2 sets of print tracks. One of them are between 16 and 17 inches long, and the other one's right around 14. So looks like 2 individuals. Jenny is pointing out one that I missed.
It's iced up here. It's all right here. That's how big it is.
Put your foot next to it. Give it a...
It's double mine.
So it's about 16 or 17 inches in length. Trackway.
There's more steps through here.
Check this one out.
Right here.
Point out the toes, Jen.
Right here.
And the hill.
Right there.
And I wanna, and then there's the next one up in it. I wanna step next to this one to give you guys an idea of the massiveness of this footprint. Stepping next to this so you guys can get an idea of the size. I put my heel right next to the heel of it, and it just dwarfs my footprint. If we had only found one of these footprints like this, we would just disregard it as a freak of nature or whatever. But because we've now found about 30 of them in this trackway, and they're all similar in size and shape, you know, this may very well be a trackway of Bigfoot footprints that Jenny and I have found in a Bigfoot sighting hotspot.
Oh yeah.
Yep, another one in the trackway. It's been a fruitful day. The only thing I could ask for is a fresher footprint. Be nice to come across one that was made the same day or the day after. This one looks like it could possibly be a half a week to a week old. Here's some deer tracks that bisect the Bigfoot trackway that we found, and it looks like there's two individuals in the Bigfoot trackway. But if the deer are here, it makes sense that the Bigfoot don't have to go anywhere, because obviously there's something for the deer to eat. Maybe the Bigfoot eats that, maybe it eats the deer, maybe both, but there's definitely something here. Because it appears that we have found a trackway, or two trackways of two different sized Bigfoot foot tracks. One 14 inches, one 16 to 17. Here's another set of deer tracks that bisects where we found the Bigfoot footprints. And look at the base of these trees. There's already really green vegetation at the base of these trees. And these are maple trees, by the way. Okay, we're gonna look for more Bigfoot shaped tracks in that trackway. See if we can find some really nice ones for y'all. It stepped there. There's another place that it stepped. This trackway just keeps going. It stepped there, stepped there. On this one, you can see some of the toe impressions at the top. Stepped back there. So hard to hide your footprints in the wintertime on snow. So it's a great time to go look for Bigfoot tracks if you can get to some of the places. But then again, in some of the worst places, maybe the Bigfoot migrate to better places. Here's another track. Just an amazing place. We're going to keep a close eye on this area this year and the years to come, because of the Bigfoot sightings, and now we're finding what we suspect might be a couple of trackways of Bigfoot. I haven't been keeping track. I'm saying 20 to 30 tracks, but here's another one. And it's unfortunate they're not as fresh as the one that we found about 3 years ago up in Sasquatch Canyon. That one had some great toe impressions, and it's funny, there's a couple of people that are like, oh no, I see claws, it's a bear track. Well, what they thought were claws is actually the indentations between the toes. I thought it was kind of funny. It's like, no, look a little closer. Those are toes, and what you think are claws are the separation between the toes. Now that I brought it up, I'll definitely show you guys that a photo of that track in this video. Oh, here's another footprint. What a trip. Now, because these are kind of old, the separation between the toes and everything has melted a little bit, but there's a few of them where we could really pick out the toes, so. Awesome.
It looks like all of those have been bent over right there and hooked together right there.
Yeah.
Look underneath that branch.
Yeah, it's possibly been a manipulation by a primate.
So this one is.
Look at all these that have been ripped over.
You see the one right above your head? Right here?
Yeah.
Has been bent over, and the fork of it is shoved right underneath this one.
Right, right.
They can't see that.
Pointed out, there's this one has been bent over just like the rest of them.
And then the fork has been lifted under here and jammed under there.
Right, and it's also been done over here where they have bent this one over and jammed it down under other vegetation. Weird. I wonder why. Just for the fun of it, or if it means something. But this is along a trackway of suspect Bigfoot footprints that we've been tracking. I don't know what it means. It'd be nice to get the answers to that. There's some old mountain lion tracks. We also found some bobcat. All right, well, we're gonna start heading back. It's getting late. Never expect to find anything, but we found a couple of trackways that look like they could be Bigfoot because they've melted a little bit. You know, we can't say for sure if that's what they are or not. We would love to find fresher tracks than what we've found, but I don't know. It was a fun day finding something that may or may not be. Also along the trackway, we found what looked like tree manipulation where they've been bent over and shoved down under other trees. It's definitely not natural. Something actually physically forced the tops of those trees down underneath other ones. I hope you enjoyed the Wellsville area of Utah. Keep on watching. We're gonna keep on squatching.